is. If you're not ready, oh, if you're not ready, you're gonna be ready.
You're already on live, you know that. We ready.
Views and opinions of the following show are those of the host and the host only, and not those of Heidelberg Broadcasting, its ownership, or management.
Hello, I'm Pastor Judy A. Johnson, Senior Pastor of Claiborne Family of Faith Worship Center in South Nashville. Introducing my show, Hey Miss Judy, talking about relationships, the Word of God, and I will have various guests. Tune in to WVOL 1470 AM on your dial every Wednesday from 10 to 10:30 a.m. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Nashville. I will say Nashville and surrounding counties in the state of Tennessee. And hey, the rest of y'all, okay? Because I've been getting in trouble because people been saying, well, Miss Judy, you didn't call my name, you didn't call my state, you didn't call my city, you didn't call my county, you didn't call my country. So, hey, y'all, this is a blessed day. I'm going to open up with a little bit of prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thine holy name. Thine will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Father God, before we go any further, we ask you to forgive us for things that we said, thought, and done that was not pleasing to you. And so that the enemy has no legalism, no legal rights into anything that you have planned for us. These and all things we pray in your holy and divine name. Amen, amen, amen. And that's what it is. It's real. I'm excited today. We have a guest. I call her the one and only. Say your first name so I don't mess it up.
Shanelia Robinson.
Shanelia Robinson. Now, my maiden name was Robinson. I didn't tell you that.
You sure did.
I did not. And so we have a lot of people. Well, I have a lot of people in Florida, Ohio, Georgia. We just all over the place. So, and some of them have migrated to Tennessee. So, I don't know. She might be in that bloodline.
Might be in the bloodline.
But look, let me start off with asking you some questions because, number one, are you married? Do you have a boyfriend?
I am married. I've been married for 5 years.
Okay, men, so that means she's off the market. I always clear that up, okay, out front. Now, do you have any children?
I do. I have 2 young men. One name is Messiah Shannon. He is 7 years old, and I also have a young man named Zachariah. He is 9 years old.
Give your husband a shout out.
Elwood Robinson is my husband. I see you on the road driving them trucks.
Making that moona.
Okay.
Okay. I am excited, and I want to give a shout out to Denise Turner, Rolling Pasta, because she connected the two of us.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when I posted that you were going to be a guest on my show, the first thing that I said was that you do, well, let me put it in my words. I'm going to rephrase it now. You do a clothing line for voluptuous women. And people, when I say voluptuous, that is, to me, an exotic term for thickums. You know, anything past size 12 is thickums, okay? Because you just can't go and get it any kind of way. That's one thing that she does. Then another thing that you do a lot of pop-up vendors. You host that, or we're going to talk about that first, but we're going to talk about that secondly. Let's talk about clothes for voluptuous women. Now, I did go through the website, and I saw a few things, but I didn't necessarily see anything for my age group, because I'm the 61 plus, okay, age group. Now, all of us don't want baby across our back there, you know, our buttocks. And we don't want turn up across our buttocks. So what y'all gonna do to help us older thickums?
Okay, so my website is, my business name is Crowned by the State, which is CROWND by the State. And I got that name because I am a travel agent. I have been a travel agent for the last 5 years. Also, I travel a lot. So what better name to give my boutique than Crowned by the State? When us as women and when we get ready to travel, We're looking for lashes.
That's right.
We're looking for hair bundles.
Cologne.
Perfume. We're also
undergarments too. You know,
we are
as voluptuous women. We love. I personally love valuable, or I say, undergarments that have some life to them. You know,
That's
some
correct.
support.
Yes, ma'am. Now, we are working on that. Since Miss Judy did bring that up, we are working on women's undergarments to wear under your clothes. A lot of women do feel more comfortable with that on.
And sexy.
And sexy. She's right.
Yeah, because you know what? You know, a lot of people think that voluptuous women, for the most part, and older women don't like to be sexy. Being sexy is not always, to me, trying to look good for that other person, but I like to feel good about my own self.
That's correct. And so, Crowned by the State, as Miss Judy mentioned, she did not see anything within the 60 and up, or, you know, and we are working on that. I do have a few items, Miss Judy. I don't know why you didn't see it.
Okay.
But we do have a few items.
Well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look again. And this is another thing. What is the size range? Because, you know, sometimes, and I did notice that you said some of your clothing comes from out of the country. So it would normally be, if we wear a 1X, we will probably want to get a 2X.
Yes, ma'am.
What about if we wear a 3X and we need a 4 or a 5X?
Yes, ma'am. So if you wear a 2X, you would size up one size. Most people and most women that shop with me, they always go up one size, and it always fit them. I have had no complaints at all about the sizing. And I did have to. That's a learning experience for me, because we're getting things that is out from overseas, and their clothing material is not like our clothing material with the spandex and the cotton.
Right.
So that is something that I am working on as well, and I want to get that rectified so that I don't have any future issues.
Well, you know, it's not even just issues supply and demand. You know, because sometimes if we don't say anything about it, we hear you talking to Miss Judy. So Miss Judy loves fashion. I love wigs. I love perfume. I love makeup. I love clothes. You know, I love undergarments and I love shoes. I just love the whole kit and caboodle. You know, and so when I see young people such as yourselves that I can, you know, lend some advice to, that's what I try to do. And so, and like you said, across seas, but here in the United States, if you buy something that, because your clothes seem to be very reasonable.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to say that. I noticed that if I pay more for clothes in Green Hills or something like that, even though I may wear a size 22 at a regular store, if I go there and I'm paying more, I wear a size 18. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
because it's not that I really wear 18. I still wear 22. It's just that they have, I want to say, lied a little bit.
And you know,
to make people feel good. You know, since we're talking about fashion, that's one of the things, because we're going to talk about the travels too. But like you said, when people are traveling, whether they're traveling wherever they're going, they want to look good and they want to wear clothes that they don't necessarily have to iron.
That's correct as well. So they want that spandex feel. They want that stretchy material that they can just throw on.
Right.
So.
And I'm going to ask you something else, because I love long, flowing coat. You know, coats.
Yes.
Not necessarily heavy coats, but the thin materials. You know,
like cardigans.
Yes. And you know, because I'm a voluptuous woman and I'm kind of thicker, and I kind of stick out a little more in the back. Yes. So I sort of like to camouflage it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cover up them.
Just a little bit. I really can't hide it, you know. But I just like the flowing of the materials, and it makes me look good. So what are some of the fashions or some of the things, you know, I'm throwing a little hint out there, but what are some of the fashions that you plan on bringing in, or let's talk about your fashion line for a minute.
Yes, ma'am. So right now we're getting rid of a lot of summer inventory. And
that means sales, right?
That means sales. So make sure that y'all follow me on Instagram and on Facebook at Crowned by the State. Also, we will be getting in new winter inventory. So the winter inventory will be, as you stated, a lot of long flowing cardigans. We will also have nice plus size, as you say.
Voluptuous.
Yes. We will also have flare out pants that you can wear to church if you have to dress up for work, or if you just want to have an evening out with your spouse or anything, your children, and go out somewhere and hang out. We will have all different sizes, all the way up to a 6X coming December the 1st, 2020.
6X, y'all heard that?
Yes.
I'm gonna be on their website like go crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna be my special shopper. Okay.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you got the number and everything, Miss Judy. Yeah.
We will have plenty of deals. Also, I will start having on October the 25th. I'm gonna start posting my winter collection, and it will be open for pre-orders.
Wow.
So you will So you'll be the first ones to be able to get these items, and I will also be looking for brand ambassadors.
Yeah, explain what that is.
So a brand ambassador is basically you get someone in. So I specialize in plus size clothes, and so a brand ambassador could be like someone like you that like my clothing. And I will send you different clothing, meet you and give you different clothing, and you just try them on, and you have them at a discounted rate.
Okay.
And sometimes the clothing will be free, depending on if I just need for you to
model it,
to model them for me.
Girl, sign me up.
And I do want to say this: my brand ambassadors will model the clothing for Crowned by the State boutique, but those clothes will not be for sale. Those clothing will be for them to keep. I do not resell clothing that someone has tried on or modeling.
I'm gonna try on so many clothes. My wardrobe is gonna blow up. That's wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, for people, do you choose them, or do people need to contact you to be a brand ambassador? And what sizes are you looking for? Your size, your what do you say, brand ambassadors?
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you looking for every size, or?
I am looking for 3 women. I would like.
Well, you're looking for 2 now.
Well, I'm looking for 2 because Miss Judy is one.
Yeah.
So, I will also be looking for someone within the age of 17. Well, no, not 17. I'm sorry, from the age of 15, because I will have appropriate teenage clothing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, ma'am. From the age of 15 to the age of 21, and then I would need one more person from the age of 25 to 35.
So I got that older group. I got that covered.
So Miss Judy will be modeling and sponsoring all of the clothing for Crowned by the State boutique. So you all will be able to see, because and I'm also looking for plus size, as the younger people say, BBWs.
Yes, big, beautiful
women. So that's what I'm looking for. So I will later.
I want to say big and bold women. Yeah, because we got to be bold to rock.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. We're going to be very bold.
Because I'm liking this hat that you rocking. Are you selling accessories?
I am. I'm only going to sell costume jewelry.
Okay.
Like watches, headbands, and purses.
Okay.
Non-designer purses, that is.
Okay.
But I will not get into the fedoras. This is a hat from my cousin. Her name is Ann Jones.
Okay.
And she does have a website as well. But
okay, we're gonna have to talk.
So make sure y'all shop with her too. She has every color.
We have a caller.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hey, Miss Judy. This is your favorite listener. So I was calling in because you know I'm a BBW.
Yes, Monique.
Everybody that's gonna fall into that 16 and up category, and I wear like a 28 in pants and like a 28 in top. So I was just calling, so you can have it out there. You know, we got some models out here.
Okay. Well, make sure that you follow me and send me a message, please, on Facebook or Instagram at either Shanelia Williams on Facebook, Crowned It by the State, or on Instagram, Crowned It by the State, please. Or inbox Miss Judy, and she will give you my contact information.
That's how you do it, Monique. Hey, don't waste time, y'all. Jump in there.
Yes, honey, because the world needs to see that we are fabulous.
Yes, we are.
Back in the day when I was coming up, people used to try to holler at you, but they used to try to holler at you on the low. But now, you got men that love plus-size women.
Yes, they do.
They do.
They was just embarrassed about what their friends thought.
That's
true. Well, in this country, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Times have changed, so, I'm proud of my little curves and rolls. And
The BBWs are the ones running the show now.
When I step out, and, so far it's only been like Lane Bryant and Catherine.
Yes.
That old people looking clothes. So,
Mhm.
all you can get out of there is like maybe a little giant suit.
And that is true.
A lot of the boutiques that you have, they stop at like 24 or 26. So I
Mhm.
can't support them because I can't get the clothes out of them.
That's true.
Mhm.
You go up to 6X, then, I can check you out.
See there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Monique, for calling. Anybody else that wants to call in, you can call in at 615-227-1470 and ask about the voluptuous women's clothing. Oh, okay, so let's go to travel. Where you're a travel agent.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and talk about that.
So
How long you been a travel agent? What got you into it?
So I've been a travel agent since 2015.
Okay.
I became licensed and certified August of 2016,
Okay.
running my own travel service, Shanelia's.
Your own travel agency.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Girl,
ma'am.
I
Black
didn't know
owned.
that.
Black owned.
Woo!
Yes, ma'am. And so with Shanelia's travel service, I do vacations in the country, out of the country. I do domestic, international. I also book honeymoons. I book spring break trips to Disney World. I book beach trips, condos, beach houses, you name it.
Oh, I'm ready.
I can get it. And also, if you want to, you can follow Shanelia's travel service on Facebook and Instagram as well. Because starting November the 1st, I will start back taking reservations of booking travel, because the world, as we all know, has been in a pandemic, and the world is starting to open up.
This is so wonderful. I had a male travel agent. I've never had a female travel agent on the show, so there's a plus. Miss Judy is full of firsts, okay? And this is so wonderful, because I forgot to ask you, how old are you?
I am 28.
And you are native of?
Jackson, Tennessee.
Get out of here.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Nashville is doing it. We just got it all up there. So far, we have our wardrobe together, and now we're getting ready to travel.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let's talk about the pop-up vendors event that you got coming up the 25th of this month. Talk about that. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about pop-up vendors, but I didn't really understand what it was, so enlighten us.
Okay. So, on October the 25th, at 403 Alley, that's ALLIED Drive in Nashville, Tennessee. It is off Nolensville
What you
Pike.
call it? Alley?
That's what I call it.
Spell it again.
ALLIED.
L.I. Drive, y'all. That's how we pronounce it. L.I. But you did L.E. Drive. L.I. Drive.
So, yes, ma'am, we will be there. It's right across from Witt's Barbecue, if anybody is familiar with that. Now, the pop-up shop is for up-and-coming entrepreneurs and business owners. Whether you're a child or whether you're an adult, it does not matter. Everyone is welcome.
Wow.
And so you come out and you sell, whether you have lip gloss or whether you have clothing, jewelry, or if you're a food vendor and you're trying to put your food truck out there for the open catering service or anything, security jobs, anything. So the pop-up shop is indeed for up-and-coming entrepreneurs to get their business out there. So that's what we will be doing on October the 25th between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m.
And how many vendors are going to be out there?
So right now we have a total of 33 vendors that will be in the building.
Oh, inside. Oh my good. Wow.
Yes.
How long have you been doing this, and what got you into this?
So I have been doing pop-up shops. This is my actual first pop-up shop myself doing.
Okay.
But I have been in different vendor pop-up shops for the last 4 years.
And if somebody wanted to be a part of the pop-up shop, what would they need to do? How would they contact you? Is there a fee?
Yes, ma'am. So the fee is $80 per vendor. It was a $50 deposit, but right now it's due in full. I'm only stopping at 35 vendors, and that's only because the building it is a nice sized building, but we also want to keep in mind that we want to keep social distancing in place.
Yes.
So at this time, if you would like to be a vendor, I have 3 more slots left that I can take, and those will be outside.
Okay.
Those will be outside.
Name some of the vendors off the top of your head that we can expect to be there. And this would be a shout out for y'all. Compliments of, hey, Miss Judy and Miss Robbins, since I don't want to mess up her first name. So give a couple of shout outs, or more than a couple, just name them.
So right now, as you all know, Crowned by the State will be there. We have Pink Sugar Scrubs.
Okay, that's for the beautiful soft skin.
It is. Right. We have Braids by Candace. She braids hair, and she's the best braider in Nashville. Okay. We have her.
Now, I know a lot of vendors, a lot of hair braiders, but I didn't say she was the best.
Well, you know, we all have our own opinion now.
But you know what? We all better wag. It's a pitiful dog that don't wag its own tail. Okay. Okay.
Yep. We also have Rolling Pasta Food Truck that will be there in the building. We have trying to think of who else. We have New Lashes.
Okay. Now what is that?
She does the extension mink lashes, the individuals, and she will have individual strip lashes available for purchase.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we do have Ivy's Boutique.
Now what is that?
Ivy's Boutique is a 6-year-old. Again, a 6-year-old young lady that has her own business. She will be there, and she will be selling little girls' hair bows, the bows.
We need to get Ivy on the show.
Yes. And also we will have Cool Boys Closet.
Now what is that?
Cool Boys Closet is Messiah and Zachariah's clothing line for little boys. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, start them out early. That's beautiful. Dude, you know what? This pandemic is bringing out the best in a lot of people, but I want to say the best in us as a race of people. Where people, we have been labeled lazy, ignorant, but we've got, black people making moves. We're going to talk about Nashville. I know in other parts of the world, everybody talks about Atlanta, but I want to talk about Nashville. Right here in Nashville, we have a lot of young black entrepreneurs and some older ones in place. But, starting these babies out at age 6 and 7 years old is phenomenal.
Yes, ma'am. Start them young, teach them, so that they won't have to depend on anybody else and think that they need a handout. Start them young so that they can learn finance and know how to count and know how to communicate with the real world. So when they become teenagers and they start taking classes in middle school and high school, they'll know how to walk up to someone and speak to them.
Yes.
Have manners, self-respect.
You know what, girl? I was just telling one of my grandbabies this morning. I said manners will take you a long way. People don't know. Thank you. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Will open doors for you. And a lot of people, I was taught that at an early age, and I've seen it work. Because even when I go somewhere and somebody, especially a young person, says yes, ma'am to me or no, ma'am, and it's genuine, I'm like, oh, baby, you finna get a tip. Simply because of the manner. Even when I go places and there's good customer service, I'm like, I'm tipping. I tipped a woman at Checkers the other day simply because her customer service was exquisite. And I was at another drive-through, and I tipped a young man because of good customer service. So you talking about manners? Manners go along with good customer service. And you know, and like you said, train up the child in the way that they should go. Now, come on. And when they get older, they won't depart from it. They'll have some wisdom and knowledge that you've passed on. And then what I love, too, about this entrepreneur spirit that's running rampant in the city of Nashville is because we have a lot of people who are coming out of incarceration. And at some point in time, at one point in time, they could not be hired on the job. But now they can start their own businesses because a lot of them are great business people. They just need an opportunity. And now, like what we're doing now, we're reaching and we are helping one another get where, you know, they can possibly get. So that's wonderful.
Yes,
and give some more shout outs.
And also, I would.
Was somebody saying something?
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. We reading comments. Yes, Mr. Kathy, she does do men's hair. She braids men's hair and she does dreads. So please contact her. Her name on Facebook is Braids by Candace or Candace Sierra with a C. Candace Sierra with 2 C's. Candace Sierra.
And you know, I'm glad he said it because I think, because I love fashion, I think men with short hair looks good provided it's trimmed, okay, and we don't have what you call a long nappy kitchen running down their neck. And even men with dreads, whether they're younger men or older men, if those dreads are kept up and they look clean and fresh and trimmed, because some of them look nasty. You know, that you have to keep them up. You know, it's
you
just
have
what it is.
to keep yourself up in this world. People judge us by the way we look.
And that's true. That's what the Word of God said. Man judges the outward appearance, but God judges the heart. So that, you're absolutely right.
And I've grown up with the help of my mother. I've grown up to love myself at a young age. When I was younger in elementary, I was always picked on and bullied because I was fat.
Really?
Because I was fat, so I was always.
And I don't know why I said really like I didn't
No,
know.
No,
I'm saying that for myself because see, I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've been a size, let's say 10. Okay. Even up until I started, even after I had my children, all 3 of my children, I was still a size 10. It's just as I got older, I stopped exercising in a whole lot of ways, which I will not name. And so, you know, and I sort of sit around and didn't do this and didn't do that. And the weight came. Stress would bring weight, too. But I just learned to love myself the way I am. So, and it's whether, I call it the 2 T's. People going to criticize you either way. Either you're thick or you're thin. You're going to be thin, people going to talk about it. I'm ooh, you're too skinny. You can be thick and people going to be talking about it, oh, you're too fat. So you really have to learn to love yourself as you are and not criticize somebody else because you skinny or because you are thick or voluptuous. I'm trying to remove the word fat and put voluptuous there because we need to start saying more beautiful things about ourselves. Fat is almost something you throw away, but a lot of people eat fat. You know, and they meat, you know, everybody don't want no lean steak. Leave a little fat on the steak. You know, it adds a little flavor. It just does. You know, so that's something to think about, you know, really. And so, okay, we're going to give us some more names. See, I'm doing it for y'all. Get your name out there.
We will also have fresh fried fish. So we will have catfish, chicken wings, French fries, and spaghetti.
Is the spaghetti going to have meat in it? I'm asking for you all, for you men, because a lot of times they only use spaghetti with no meat.
We will have
very
spaghetti.
Little meat.
Fresh dishes will have spaghetti with meat, and for the vegans and for people that's vegetarians, we will have pasta without meat.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So y'all really gonna be doing it. So we got everything from what you didn't say. What did you say? You said about the children's clothing line, but what about men?
So we will have Crowned by the State. See, she just keep on making me say it, y'all.
I did.
So,
that's what I do.
So Crowned by the State has partnered with my husband, Elwood Robinson, and he would like to sell men's clothing. So it was just going to be a surprise to everybody. For when the men come, they won't say, oh, well, I had to come with my wife or my girlfriend or my sister, and y'all don't never have anything for men. Well, we will have men clothing all the way up to a 5X.
Now, see, by coming out on the show, what you've done, because we know we got some voluptuous men after some big, thick, handsome, voluptuous men who will now come out to the event because you're going to have clothes up to 5X for them. You know, some of them are short, some of them medium height, some of them are tall. So what kind of clothing for the men, you know?
So we will have, it will be all non-designer, because we do not really specialize in designer clothes, but we will have like Nike sets with the jacket, the sweatsuits, the jogging suits. We will also have basketball shorts that will be custom with Crowned by the State on them. We will have T-shirts.
In other words, you got your own clothing line.
You got to start somewhere.
Listen, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We will have masks for everybody. And also the pop-up shop, we will be practicing social distance. Everyone will have to have a mask on to enter the building and the entire time that you're at the building. I brought out a lot of Germex.
Okay.
Sanitizer for all of my vendors. Every vendor booth will have Germex. So please make sure that you come out and you support all the vendors. We have some great vendors that this is their first time being in a pop-up shop. So a lot of them are nervous, but I told them, I will be there with you every step of the way to walk around, to help you, to shout you out. So that because we have a DJ, a live DJ will be there.
Who's the DJ? Give him a shout out.
DJ Leon will be our DJ. He's a more of old school DJ.
Okay.
And so we will not have any rap, any profanity at all. This is a kid-friendly event.
Oh, wow.
So please bring your children out. We will have a table for practicing social distancing with coloring books and things like that, with someone monitoring the kids while the parents shop around.
Oh, you really planned this out?
I have. I've been planning this for several months.
This is great. I mean, you know, you can take your children, and you know, because sometimes the children don't want to walk around.
Yeah, they don't. They're
and
tired
you
of
have
walking
somebody
around.
that's responsible, somebody that's watching.
Someone is trustworthy that will be able.
Yeah. But what happens if you get a baby kid? You know, one of them little kids is gonna beat the chaperone up, or the one that's watching them, and every child at the table.
Well, you know, we've all had to deal with a baby child. So in that case, the parent will have to deal with their own child. We don't do any hitting, any beating, or any yelling, or anything like that to the children. We love children. I have 16 nieces and nephews.
Okay.
So, you know, you can still bring your children out, but if you know your child is irate or unruly, just please hang on to them tight.
I like that. Just hold on to them very tight.
Because you know you got the little kids.
Yeah.
Mama, I want to go
and
there.
I'm glad I brought that up, because sometimes people, you know, they want to, especially right through now with COVID, and a lot of people, I've been praying for all of the babies and the teachers, everybody that's going back into the school system. But some of those parents, I understand why they want, you know, little Johnny or little Louise to be in school, okay?
Yes.
Because they done tore up the house. But if you, and this is, I want to say this to those parents, if you know that you are tired because they've been swinging from the ceiling fan, they done knocked the doorknobs off, how you think that teacher feels in school? So we should be more supportive to our teachers at this time, because we know how they've been suffering. Oh, they really been suffering.
Listen, I have been seeing on social media how these parents are, especially the mothers. I've been seeing a lot of fathers too that deals with their children on a daily. And a lot of famous people, celebrities, are complaining how they are ready for their children to go back to school because they have no time.
And I'm going to say this, I think our teachers should get a raise, and we should be rallying for the teachers to get a raise, because we know now my children are grown. but I got grandkids at the house, okay? And for a while, I had to keep up with sort of 2 days a week with 2 of my younger grandkids. Ooh, and one of them was a real challenge, okay? And Granny had to go old school and handle him, you know. And then he knew I was going to tell his mama, so he was going to get it. And so he kind of straightened up his act. But I have those other grandkids who are at the house, and their mama is like, you better get in there. Don't make me. I'm hearing her holler and scream. So the parents have become the janitor. They have become the principal, the assistant principal, the nurse, the counselor,
PE teacher. Because mine have to go for PE. They on the virtual learning. They have to go outside. Well, they tell them to do like 20 jumping jacks or something. And I'm like, okay. Well, what about the people that live in apartments? Yeah. And you have someone that lives under you.
Yeah.
So mine go outside. They take about 4 or 5 breaks during the day.
But they're poor teachers, you know. Now I'm thinking about it. And not only are they the teacher, but they have become the cafeteria workers. You know what I'm saying?
They done had to cook more than they done ever had to cook since these children been born.
And that's on the positive note, but on the negative note of that, there are some children who have been suffering. You know, and girl, have you seen some of the parents walking around in their underwear while the children
drinking? They drinking a bottle of wine early in the morning.
Smoking kush, cussing the children out. Poor children been embarrassed, you know, just like everything. And so, yeah, I'm sort of glad, but at the same time, I'm cautious of the children going back to school. But again, I think kudos to you teachers. Bless your heart, you know, so they need a raise.
Yeah, teachers do definitely need a raise. They have it hard, especially, like we said, little Johnny and little Sarah and little Brianna. They are a handful.
Yeah, and you got your Austins and your Aidens and your Androniques and your Andrins and your Andrex.
And my mom is on here. Her name is Andrea. And I don't know what we were talking about, but she said something about it's from your mother.
Oh, really?
That's what my mom said. I don't know what we...
you talking about the acting up part?
I don't know.
I'm afraid not. And I just named all my grandkids. So I'm like, Granny, I just wanted to say your name on the radio so you know how I do it. You know, but I love my grandkids. So, yeah, you know, you are doing some phenomenal things. You're a wife. Look at all the hats you wear. You wear the head of a wife, the head of a mother, of course, the head of a daughter. Do you have siblings?
I do. I have one brother. His name is Labardo, and he's just a year older than me, but he's from Jackson, Tennessee as well.
Okay, and so, you know, you are a family woman, and not only that, you're a businesswoman. Multiple businesses.
Yes,
multiple, not just one. And talk to us, how do you handle being a multiple... they call it multitasking, you know, being able to do more than one thing at a time. So how do you do that? I know how I do it, but how do you go about doing, you know, spacing it out and planning your events?
So I base it around when the children are out of school. So when they're out of school, whether it's on spring break, fall break, or anything like that, that's kind of when I like to plan my trips. When I'm doing any event, I like to plan it on the weekend.
Okay.
Because during the day, during the week, I'm mostly doing my schoolwork because I go to Middle Tennessee State University.
Wait a minute. I just keep digging stuff up. So you are a student as well?
And I just graduated July the 18th from Nashville State Community College.
Congratulations.
Thank you, with my degree in crime scene investigation.
In what crime scene investigation?
CSI.
Girl. Wait a minute. Crime scene investigation.
Yes,
now, we got to flip the page, as my brother Wallace says. What made you want to be a crime scene investigator? So, wait a minute. So, does that mean that you be the po-po?
Well, not necessarily. A lot of people, now let me just say this, especially for all of my followers that follow me, because they know they've been on my journey when I was at Metro and at the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
Wait a minute.
So,
wait a minute. Wait a minute, I'm finna fall out.
So
Miss Judy be on to something.
yeah, so you know how like when you were young, you always say, "Oh, I want to be a nurse. I want to be a doctor."
Yeah.
Ever since CSI Miami with Horatio and all of them came out, I've always wanted to do CSI. I've been around it. I've seen it physically. And I mean, my mom always say, and that don't bother you by seeing somebody's head blown off. So that don't bother you by seeing somebody's hand chopped off. No, mama.
But you know what? You have people who are ordained for certain things. Some people faint at the very sight of blood. And some people, let's see it and just keep on moving. Oh, my goodness. So this is just in you, this CSI thing, this crime investigation.
That's all that I watch. I told my cable company, you don't have to give me all those other channels. Just give me Blue Blood, CSI, Forensic Files, and Chicago PD, and I'll be fine.
And this is another thing. So wait, girl, this is so good because for our young listeners, what we are learning is that we have black women in Nashville who are into forensics. Is that right there?
That is
forensics crime scene. Oh, this is so good.
Yes,
now tell me what the grossest thing. If y'all got a weak stomach, you just stop your ears up for a minute. Girl, what is some of the worst things you've seen?
Well, due to confidentiality, I
you don't
can't
have to
say
get
a
no
lot
names.
of stuff,
Yeah.
but I mean, a little girl, she was cut up.
Wow.
Now that's the only thing that kind of really bothers me. The
child.
children. But other than that, it's not a lot that really just
bothers you. You just don't have a weak stomach.
not like that.
Girl.
Now I haven't seen anybody like blew up or anything. It just splattered, but
You done seen
I've
some
seen
stuff.
shotguns with your head split. You know, one side gone, one side hanging.
Ooh, in real life, you know what? To see it on television
Is one thing, and it's
That's just-
nothing like television. And I will tell any young person that the stuff that we watch on TV on these shows is nothing like seeing that blood, seeing any of that blood again.
and
It
guts,
is
too, the
good.
gore of it.
It is nothing. First 48 shows you firsthand real life.
Wow.
But all these other shows, it's just,
You
it's
know,
just my show.
I'm really impressed by you. I truly am. I thought you would just close and travel and pop-up shops.
No.
And here we got a real forensic person with looking at crime scene investigation, determining what time the crime took place and how they were murdered and this and that. Real CSI stuff sitting right here. You heard it first. Oh, hey, Miss Judy, I told you I'm full of first.
Yes,
Get
ma'am.
out of here.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else in your family like it, or you the
Nope,
first one?
I'm the only one. They wouldn't. You police? No, I'm not police.
Well,
But
I'm
I
glad
do
you-
have to work with some of them.
Well, that's common sense.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
But I am not.
Well,
the
we're
police.
not against the police.
Police.
Only those that are doing stuff they have no
The
business doing.
exactly.
But you know, so we do support them in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, oh my goodness. So you almost a brainiac too, because you really have to study and you have to have an eye for certain things. That means you see that little bitty fiber. You know, and this came from the carpet of the car.
Mm-hmm. Or you done tried to put some bleach down to cover that blood stain up.
And it really doesn't cover it up.
Baby, they don't cover it up. I'm gonna pull that carpet up and put my stuff down and get my little purple light. And guess what? I'm gonna find it. Fingerprints too.
I
dug
love
for print.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
girl, how does your husband handle you? Let's talk about a little bit about that, because sometimes men are intimidated by women such as yourself. Talk about that. How does he deal with that? How long you been knowing him? How long y'all been together? Let's talk about that first. How you meet?
So, my husband and myself have been together for 10 years.
Okay.
We met in November of 2010.
See how we dated? We know.
Mm-hmm. So from November of 2010, and we got married May 21st, 2016.
Okay.
So we got a chance to know each other in and out before we
said any I do.
said
Made a real
anything
lifetime
or even
commitment.
moved together. No, we didn't move together right then. It was 2 years after.
You had some home training.
Yeah, so I was raised by awesome, amazing.
Yeah,
mother.
give your mama a shout out, your daddy too, if you want to. Hey, mama.
Yes, my mother is on here, Andrea Michelle Givens Moore. She's a phenomenal woman. She does a lot of stuff in her community in Jackson, Tennessee. She just ran for city council, and she also just ran for school board.
Get it?
Yeah, so I get it from her.
You get it
That's
from
right,
your
get it
mama.
from
That
my
might be what she meant. You know that's how you get it from your
mama.
mama.
So yes, ma'am, my mom is a phenomenal woman.
Wow.
She does a lot in her community. She does a lot for her family. She has 4 other sisters, and she's the baby, but you would think that she's the oldest because she tries to run the show with everybody.
Well, that's what they do.
Yeah, that's what the babies do, and I'm the baby too, so I guess I get it
Get
from my
your
mama. Yeah, so
Wait a minute, what Beyonce say? She's a savage because she get that
I'm a
from
savage.
She get it from Tina.
Right. So, but yeah, back to my husband. We met November 2010. We married May 2016. We met in Jackson, Tennessee. We were on an outing. I was with some of my friend girls, and he was with some of his friend guys.
Okay.
And so we just kind of connected. We didn't at first, but eventually, of course, we did.
But did you look over there and say, "Ooh, he's look good. He's
I
good
did.
looking.
I was
Oh,
like,
he's
"Ooh,
fine.
he's fine."
Oh,
I was like, "Ooh, he's fine."
It can happen.
Mm-hmm. So he's a truck driver. He's been a
Okay.
truck driver since 2013.
Okay.
And over the road, he loves driving trucks. He loves going, and that's what kind of made me get into the whole travel agent thing because I was on the road with him. He was like, "You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about now. We're just gonna go on the road and get this trucking
Oh,
money."
that's nice.
So we have been to every state besides Rhode Island and New Hampshire. I've been all the way up to Montana, Portland, Oregon. We've been
You just been a traveling
Connecticut.
girl.
Yeah, traveling, cruises, flights, driving. I've been everywhere, and I love it.
And that started with your husband.
Started with him. That's what made me want to be a travel agent.
Okay. Now, how is he feeling about this forensic science? That's what I'm still stuck right
He
there.
be interested when I come home and I tell him or call him on the phone and tell him about something, or if it's like something that happens in Nashville or like in the world, I can put the pieces together.
Wow.
I'll be like, now look, now I know this is what happened, and he did it, or the friend set it up, and then the body gonna be right here, and no, it couldn't have been from there to over here. That was close range, and he just be like,
Amazed.
and sometimes at first he used to be like, how do you know that? Because I know my work.
You're analytical, very analytical.
Mhm.
You know what? And I respect a man like that that realize the worth in his wife's mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this show is we're talking. That's the one thing about him, Miss Judy. You know, it takes so many twists and turns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now we are at the fact. I thought you were just a travel agent coming on. You know, and a girl who had voluptuous clothing. You know, and pop-up shops. Only now to discover that we have what would your title be? A forensics what? Investigator.
It would be a crime scene investigator.
Wow. So you would be one of those people that put on those hazmat suits and
That's correct. The white hazmat suits and go if it's like a hazard or anything like that. I would have to and I do wear the hazmat suit, or I just have like the forensic jacket on, or CS crime scene jacket on. I will have the forensic once I graduate next year from MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University. But for right now, I'll just have on the crime scene CSI jacket, and I'll have my little hat on, CSI hat, and I have my camera. So I just go around taking the pictures of the scene, collecting evidence, the bags and different things like that, and take it back to the lab.
This is so wonderful. Thank you, Denise. Thank you. Because you know what? You're such an inspiration people who are listening to other young men and women, especially all young men and women. Don't get me wrong, but especially young men and women of color, because we only look at certain jobs as for others, and we don't go into those fields because we think this is only what we should do. But you younger people, you millennials, you know, you are hitting the ball out of the park. Really, you're bringing some things back full circle, because we always, as a people, were very intuitive, as well as, you know, we just do what we do. And somewhere along the way, it was you know, we got lost. But now you're bringing it back. And for you to be a young woman, a young black woman, doing so many things. Let me ask you something. Can you cook? Do you cook? Girl, oh, that means you can.
Now, what we just say, I get it
From
my
your
mama.
mama. Okay.
Yes, I can throw down in the kitchen, and I'm not talking about no meat and spaghetti. I can cook greens, turnip greens, collard greens, mustard greens. I can cook sweet potatoes, candy yams. Yes, ma'am. Hot water cornbread.
Girl, hush.
No jiffy.
Fool around and I'll be over your house
Come
trying to
on.
hang out. You know I have to come over and try them clothes on anyway.
Come on. I have a room extra room that I have made out of my office space. One side is the travel agency. One side is the boutique. So come on in.
Girl, you know what? I'm going to tell you why I said that. Because most women that do as many things as you do, they can't cook. They can't. Some women think, you know, they just satisfy the man by being beautiful. Or, you know, having these degrees. But being a wife, that, like I said, that's a whole nother hat. So you don't have a maid, so you clean up your own house.
I clean up my own house. I wash my own dishes. I wash my own clothes, and I take care of both of my boys
and your husband
and the dog. Don't forget about the little
dog.
dog.
I forgot that little dog. I told you I don't like little dogs.
Yeah, she go to the nail spa. She get her nails done and different things like that. So yeah, I have a different obstacles that I have to jump through. But I get it done. I get it done with no complaints. And even if I do complain, who gonna listen and care?
Nobody.
Exactly. So
they'll talk
I'm
about
blessed.
you and complain with you.
Yep, I'm blessed. And that's all that we can ask for. You can't ask for nothing else but to be blessed in this day and time that we have today.
Oh, my God. Are you a believer? Now, I left that out, but I got... why did I even ask?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Had to get it in there. Y'all had to get it in there. So multi-talented.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God! I see your nails. Who's doing your nails?
Well, they need done. But I go to a lady named Shay in Smyrna, Tennessee. She's actually out the country right now. So my nails have actually been done since August.
Really?
And I'm
Shay do a good job.
Yeah, and this one just broke yesterday. But I'm needing a filling in bed, but she won't be back to December.
That's still beautiful.
Yes, ma'am. She does a
what?
wonderful job.
This is amazing. Forensic science, I'm still there.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm still there. You know, oh my gosh. Is there anything else that you do that I didn't touch on? You can cook, you can clean, you know, you got what's that? Bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan. Never let him forget that he's a man, okay?
Okay.
And being a wonderful mom to some outstanding little boys. I'm going to say that. A businesswoman, a wonderful daughter, because your mom's got to be proud of you.
She is, and she tell me all the
sister.
time.
Yeah. You didn't say nothing about your dad.
So my dad...
You ain't going to get me in trouble.
So we've been talking. I'm sorry, but shout out to my pops. His name is Bradley Moore. He is phenomenal. If anybody needs any type of work done, he has been a carpenter. He built houses, decks, porches, stairs, paint, does anything you need. Hang TVs, anything, and he's certified and licensed for the last 30 years. So if you need anything like that, please contact me.
And I want to say this. I'm going to say this because I'm thinking about it. People need to advertise their businesses. And at WVOL, you can get, hey, your business is advertised, you know, greatly. So, you know, Because, there's a fee attached to that, and so, let Mr. Heidelberg know, hey, Miss Judy, is where you heard it. So I get them perks. Yeah, that's why I'm talking about the hard stuff going up over there. I might as well, because this is wonderful. Yes, because you got those pop-up shops, and they need to start advertising.
Advertise your business. I know we're a little bit crunched for time, but I will say this: advertise your business. Don't be afraid to launch that business or go ahead and tell somebody, hey, I sell CDs or I have paintings for sale, because your price is your price. Don't ever change your price because someone says that your price is too much, because guess what? They will go out there to Kohl's, Ross, Macy's, dealers, and they will pay the same price or more for that you had for $50, and they'll go pay $100 or $150 for it.
And you know what? Investment, advertisement is an investment in your business. Nobody will know who you are if you don't put your name out there.
That's right.
And so we just gave you some free shout outs. So contact my sister, and hey, contact WVOL 615-227-1470, and ask for John Heidelberg. I was looking for another number. And ask for John Heidelberg and talk about advertising your businesses. Also, the other number is 615-226-0683, 615-737-9865. Advertise your businesses. All of you vendors, 35 vendors, come on now. Somebody needs to start making some more business move. What Carla B said,
money
she don't
move.
dance no more. She what?
Make money moves.
And good money moves.
Right. So y'all invest in yourself. If you do nothing else, invest and advertise your business, because your business is what brings the bread and butter home to feed you and your family.
Yes, and you know what? I want to say thank you for coming on this show, and it's been a delight.
It has
truly been
and
a delight.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
So people, same time, same station. Bye-bye.
WVOL.
Nashville. Hey,